A plastic surgeon arrives on the scene at the beginning of the film, whose name is Robert. He is in a medical discussion where many scientists have gone there. He is informing them, I have made an artificial human skin. It is alike the human skin. You will never differentiate it. He is telling, I have a laboratory at my house, where I have continued to conduct these experiments. This skin is very effective for the burnt human skin. We can recover their skin, using this artificial skin. It is also effective that no mosquito or any insect can bite it, because it has a thick layer. His experiment is encouraged too much. But the meeting president asks him later, what do you use to cultivate this artificial skin? Then, Robert replies, the blood of animal. Don't worry, I am not harming any human being. I am just working to save the humanity. That meeting president says, in spite of it is wrong thing. Have you applied it till now? Then, Robert tells, yeah, I am telling you after a trial. It becomes same with the human skin. I have conducted a legal transgenic experiment on a person. Then meeting president says to him, you committed a blunder. You had to inform all of us. Will you conduct any experiment on human at your house? Just think, what consequences will you face if this experiment was flopped? You have replaced the DNA of a human being. You have mixed the DNA of another man with him. You know it is illegal in the scientific field. I apologize, I cannot permit you to conduct this experiment. You will have to stop it. Then, Robert says, all right, do what you like, and he returns to his house in rage from there. There is a girl at his house, having short hair. She always used to wear the skin dress. Her name was Vera. Robert had imprisoned her at his house. There were fixed CCTV security cameras everywhere, so they may keep an eye on her. And he had also arranged a maidservant for her. Robert used to call that woman a mother, because Robert was fostered by that woman. On the other side, Vera is seen who was exhausted from this type of life. And she take her own life many times by damaging her. But her wounds never bled because of the thick layer of her skin. And she survived every time. Then it is also revealed that Vera's face used to resemble Robert's wife. As being a plastic surgeon, Robert altered this girl's face like his wife. Now it is seen that Robert moves outside on a day, and that maidservant's son comes to the house to meet her mother. But he was not a decent boy at all. He used to rob. He was evil one. He says to his mother out of the door, open the door. I want to meet you. But her mother says to him through video door phone, you cannot enter. Go away, I have no kinship with you. He says after being sentimental, mother, I am missing you. So that maidservant opens the door emotionally. That evil person begins to eat all food placed in the kitchen. He is also seeing on the security camera screen that there is girl who is resembling Robert's wife. He say, she was killed. From where she came back. He begins to tease her, going to her. Fortunately, Robert arrives there. Witnessing it, he puts that evil boy into death with his gun. He asks, going to Vera, are you alright? It was the first time when the transition of emotion appeared in Robert. As someone was teasing Vera. Vera had the face like his wife. So he is unable to tolerate it as someone is wronging with her. Afterward, Robert takes away that evil boy's dead body. After this, maidservant moves to Vera and says, may I tell you a truth? I tell you a fact, if that evil boy is my son. Robert is also my real son. But her dead son and Robert were step-brothers. It means their fathers were different. The fact is this, that maidservant evil boy turned to bad guy because he had been addicted drug in his childhood. Robert was sent to the medical school because his father was wealthy. So he became a decent man, getting education. And he married a charming girl who was his wife. But he had lost the courage after her death. So he altered your face like his wife. He is heartbroken, so he is rigid. But my son is unaware of this truth, that I am his mother. Because his father kept me at his house as I am his maidservant. When maidservant's evil son knew that Robert had married a charming girl, he became envied, and he started to visit at their house. He lured Robert's wife, and he went away, taking her. But their car faced a severe accident. Consequently, their car was exploded badly. Robert's wife also burned in it, and my son escaped from there. Robert had a great love for his wife. In spite of knowing it, he brings his wife at his house. He began to say to her, I will recover you. Robert was guiltless and sincere with his wife. Now his wife had also started to realize it, that she committed wrong. She used to spend his time in grief because of being burnt. Being locked in a room, she used to rest, switching off the lights. There was not kept any looking glass in her room. She may not be afraid, witnessing her face and body. They had also a daughter. She had no knowledge where her mother went. She was thinking as she has gone somewhere in case of a job. One day, she is playing in the playground. Then her lying mother in a room hears her voice. When she begins to look down from the terrace, then she looks at her face in the window glass. Seeing it, she begins to scream. And she jumps off the terrace. It means, she take her life in front of her daughter. But her daughter did not know that her mother is such a condition. She is scared and gone insane, seeing her dying before her. And she is sent to the psychiatric hospital for her recovery. Now, Robert was left alone. He had lost his wife and his daughter had also gone far from him. Now maidservant stops telling the story. And it seemed that Robert had turned his behavior into good with Vera. He apologizes her saying, "It was wrong what I did with you." Vera also says to him, "It's okay. I forgive you," and they begin to live together blissfully. When they are sleeping at a night, they both dream. Robert used to love his daughter too much, so he dreams. He never wanted her daughter to spend her whole life into a psychiatric hospital. So he brings her to a wedding party in a dream. At the same time, her daughter meets a boy there. She had grown to 16 years old. Suddenly, Robert starts to hear the shouting of her daughter. He observes going outside, a boy is fleeing from her. According to Robert, that boy wronged with his daughter. Then he escaped from there. Robert does not understand anything. He again moves to the hospital, lifting his daughter. Her doctor tells there, she was already not recovered and she faced it now. Now her heart has developed androphobia, even though she is also feeling fear from you. So you may not come to her at this time. Robert leaves from there. On the other side, Robert's daughter begins to fall ill critically. She used to miss her mother, and many weird thoughts traveled in her mind. No one knows what happened on a day. She took her own life, jumping off the terrace. And this fact also frustrated Robert very much. Actually, it was reality what Robert was dreaming. It means, it had happened in the previous days. Let's move to Vera dream. In the beginning of her dream, Vera witnesses a boy. He was the same boy who was accompanied with Robert's daughter at wedding night, and he had escaped, seeing Robert. Actually, there was his mother's boutique where he also used to serve. He knew at that night, meeting with Robert's daughter. She is drug addicted and mentally unstable. He says to her, "You will be recovered, you need not to be worried." As he started to show his intimacy with her, then Robert's daughter starts screaming. Because she was psychotic patient, suffering androphobia. It was opposite to the fact what Robert was thinking. The boy accompanied her at night was good one. But he scared when that girl started shouting, "What will the people think about me?" So he ran away in fear from there. And Robert took him wrong. And he imprisoned that boy within a few days after abducting him. He placed his motorcycle on a mountain so the people think that he has encountered an accident, so he is missing yet. Police think as he has drowned, so he closes this file. It means Robert remains safe. Meanwhile, his mother reported in the newspaper many times, giving his photo, that my son has lost. She also visited to Robert, who did not feel compassion even for a single time. Contrarily, he changes his gender. Doctors also cooperated with him. Robert had imprisoned that boy at his house to take the revenge of his daughter, which was only his misconception. A day arrived when he altered his face. He changed him into a girl. You will be shocked, seeing it, that he was not anyone else but Vera. It means that Robert had changed that boy into a girl. And he made him Vera, altering his face into his wife. He begins to put the layers of skin on Vera's body, which he had made the artificial skin. So no one may suspect that she used to be a boy before. 6 years had passed of this incident. And Vera was not satisfied with his life. He attempted to take her life many times, as it has already been told that her skin was not cut, nor she got any harm. Here Vera's dream is also ended. It means there was the fear in both of their dreams. It was such a fact that they could not forget. They apologized to each other, waking up in the next morning. And they say, "We will live together now as nothing has ever happened." They take breakfast together, and they also talk too much. Then Robert's friend approaches there. He shows him the same newspaper which had the news of that lost boy. He tells that police officers are again detecting this case. Because his mother has still not forgotten this thing. Now I am afraid that you will be arrested soon. Because you have changed that boy's gender illegally. Then, Vera comes there and says, I am that girl who used to be boy before. It has been done with my permission. I had allowed Robert for this. Saying it, he makes a place in Robert's heart. And Robert had started to think more good for Vera. It means that his fear had disappeared as he will ever be arrested. He says to Vera, I have started to like you more. Thanks a lot that you supported me. After this, both get busy in their works. Then, Vera is searching her anything that she glimpsed the same newspaper. It had her old photo when he was a boy. When she realizes that my mother has been searching for me for many years. And he has imprisoned me here for the last 6 years. He begins to remind everything, casting a glass on his old photo. He feels aggressive for Robert, so she goes upstairs, taking a gun. And she kills Robert, firing her gun. Robert takes his last breath here. Robert's maidservant who his mother comes upstairs. She has also a gun. Before it, she fires her gun on Vera. Vera also fires her gun on her. Now she does not know anything except she need to meet her mother. She says, it is enough. I cannot tolerate more. It was just a dramatized situation which she was pretending to live nicely with Robert. She was doing it all so she may get freedom after killing him. She directly moves to her mother's boutique, where she used to work there. He meets her mother's helper. And she weeps before her. She tells her, I am the same that boy. I used to like you when I was a boy. But look what those people did to me. It's been 6 years since. And I am only able to accept this reality. And then his mother comes there. And Vera starts crying, Mom, I am your same son. Of course they changed my skin, changed my gender. But I am your same son. And this movie ends here with this emotional scene. Thank you for watching.